Dr. fucking Stone, we're back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that we took so long. Wow.
Oh my god. It's back, it's black, and we're ready.
Dude. Where to begin, man? We have, so the last 3 chapters, we can talk about all of it, basically. I kind of want to start with Senku getting shot.
Oh, wow. So, Senku.
Oh, my God.
I was not expecting that at all. Like, ooh. You know how painful that shit is, bro? Oh, God. The art did not, like, the art was really, really good. So it was like, it made it painstakingly clear just how much pain Senku was in. Like, imagine.
And, like, you can tell from the speech bubbles that he's, like, having a hard time talking, too. He's, like, shaking, you know, like, shakily, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's crazy because that's a sniper bullet. That's not your ordinary. That's a fucking.
Well, it
sniper.
looks like the bullets broke apart and it was like the fragments. Because Senku, oh my God, Senku's so cool. Like this chapter alone, like I was wavering on if I wanted to get a Senku figure. I was like, yeah, I need to get a Senku figure. He's too fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
but Senku, man, like, 9,000 IQ, like, because you know about non-Newtonian fluid, right? Like the shit, like, do you know what they're talking about? Have you ever made that, like the slime where it's like it's slimy if you like play with it slowly, but if you punch it, it's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever made that shit?
No, I haven't made it yet.
Dude, really? I've made that so much, like with cornstarch, and then you put like some food dye in it, and then like if you just like slowly touch it, it's liquid. But if you apply enough force, it becomes solid. You've never made that shit.
I mean, shit, difference in childhood, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Is that my privileged white childhood?
It's not even that. I never really was into like most of that shit was like school. Like
yeah, dude, I made that shit in school.
Yeah, but I never really made those type of like. What grade were you in?
What grade was I? I was probably middle school.
Oh yeah, no.
In middle school, we were fucking bitches.
Shit.
In Vegas, or where was it? California?
Yeah, California. In some California schools, sure. But,
we went from the. I like to imagine like one class is like because the joke about California on like the countrywide stage is that they're like overly like SJW-y. So like one class is just like we're learning about like really I'm trying to think of how to make this joke without being like too rude. Like, you know, overly like socially aware shit, and then we went and fucked bitches.
That's so funny.
Either way, no, I love it.
Making out with bitches is not fucking bitches. Fucking bitches is in high school, bro.
I mean,
that's
unless you're Kozuki Odin, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's just wild too, because as soon as I hit freshman year, people
were fucking bitches.
No, people were fucking. Like I literally had a conversation with this guy. I was just like, bro, you just don't like. He was having like he was one of those guys. I was just like, I wouldn't say like a playboy, but he was like one of those good looking like fucking like your stereotypical like jock guys.
Just walk into a room of femoids and just like sigh a little bit, like make a little noise, and then they're all on his dick immediately, like that kind of guy.
It's not even that, but he was like very confident, you know.
Oh,
like,
confidence, yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I was just like, we were talking. I don't know what conversation. He was just like, I was like, why do you gonna make out with her or something like that? Like, why just don't want to make out with her or something like that? He was like, if I want to make out, I'd go back to fucking middle school. I was like, whoa, shit, wow, I'm loop.
What make out? What is this? Fucking elementary, fucking prepubescent fetus shit?
That's what the fuck that's the logic that they were using, bro. I don't know how your Michigan was in like high school, middle school shit, but bro,
I mean, it was probably a little bit less extreme than that. Like, but there were definitely people in like relationships constantly in like late middle school, early high school, moving forward, and then like by the time you're hitting like middle of high school, like a bunch of your classmates are pregnant and shit.
Yeah, that's just wild too, because like that was freshman year. That was freshman year. Niggas were already talking about like fucking. Like even the girls too. Like even the girls were like trying to fuck, and I was just, It was just like wow. Like,
I remember there was one girl that like really made it clear to me because like she was just being an absolute bitch, like really really angry, and I was like, "What's your fucking problem?" And she was like, "There is literally blood leaking from my pussy right now," and I'm like, "Cool, thanks."
Yeah, bro, shit. That's just fucking wild. People be, I don't know how it is about that, but I guess it's different.
It must be nice to have just an excuse you can throw out when you're being an asshole.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, different states. That's interesting.
Shit. We're coming off as like Two, I don't like how anti-woman we seem. If this is our first video you've seen of us, we're gonna feel very like cringy. Like I promise you, it's not normally the case. One video. Well, listen, we're multifaceted people. I can make your fucking cringy like SJWs have gone too far jokes on one side, and I can come over here and start fucking talking about how you should respect pronouns on the other side. I'm a very multifaceted man. You see
how cringy like the anti SJWs are.
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm anti.
Those people are like it's so funny. Anti SJWs are actually so bad because they literally are becoming what they hated.
Wait, I'm confused now. So we're anti SJW, and then you're against people who are against SJW. Wait, are you talking about the people who? I'm sorry, you got to speak clear.
Like people like Yellow Flash, and I'm starting.
Oh yes. I think so. You're talking anti. Oh, my brain hurts. I know what you mean, right? Like the people that are like their whole career is about like cringing about like SJWs, essentially cringing at them.
Yeah, I get it. We don't like SJWs as much as the next guy, but these people like even like the smallest thing they think it's like such a big deal. Like I follow like some of these like anti SJWs on YouTube and Twitter. And like some of the shit they complain about, like it's crazy to me. Like I never understood like this political science shit until just now. But for some fucking reason, it all makes sense. There's no coincidence that the same people who hate the same things also are like one side of the spectrum for politics. And I thought that was a myth. I legitimately thought that was a myth. And it's actually
is what I'm hearing, that you're becoming woke to the fact that all conservatives are subhuman filth.
Like I've seen it. Like I've seen
Okay,
it.
Good. We can agree.
Like just for all politics in general, it's just weird. Like people like I'm not gonna say name, but there's some people I'm just like, what are their thoughts on this issue? Let me look at it. Mm-hmm. And it's obvious. It's
typically it's like which side is racist? Ah, right, that side. Which side doesn't believe in climate change? Same side. Which side? You could go down the list.
It's wild to me because I'm just like, okay, maybe you'll have like a different opinion. Like, have a different opinion about something, but they don't. It's the same. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, we'll disagree on certain things, and we'll have like different opinions on it because we're human. We have different thoughts. We're not sheep. But it's just like every single topic, they have the same opinion on. I'm just looking. I'm just like, I thought this was a myth. Like I thought it was just Twitter being Twitter and Facebook being Facebook.
Just say it, Thurman. Open. You know it to be true in your heart. Say what you need to say.
Open my eyes, bro. I look at something.
So now you know how important politics are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good. Anyway, let's talk about Dr. Stone. Let's escape from politics real quick. Yeah. So but either way, that non-Newtonian fluid stuff, that's real shit. Apparently, I gotta make that's a video. Add it to the list. When Thurman comes over here, if I remember, it's making non-Newtonian fluid with Thurman. That shit's fun as fuck. But yeah, no, that's legit how it works, right? Like, it's a liquid, but if you, like, slap it hard, it'll turn into a solid. So that's, like, really genius. Like, God, that's such... I love what they do with that shit. So that's really neat that he did that. Also, I have to say, I, like, screamed when I saw this page, okay? In chapter 159. Because we were talking about the theories, what was going to happen with Dr. Zeno. The fact that he was like, yes, kill Senku, fucking completely blindsided me. I did not expect that at all.
Oof, yeah,
remember the last chapter before that, the last one we reviewed, he was like, don't shoot, but it was just because I thought he was going to be like, no, invite them over, we need to talk about them, this is yada yada yada, right? No, instead it was because you're shooting the wrong guy. I just really want you to understand how big of a deal this is. The flashbacks we saw made me believe that, like, there was this really deep connection they had, like, deep ass connection, like almost father-son level shit, or like at least cool uncle, like he had a connection with this kid, like, and the fact that he's like, his world domination is more important than that. I did not get that vibe from him at all. I thought he was gonna call him over, have a talk with him, like, hey, maybe we can work together. And he even says, like, man, I would love to work together with Senku, but he's smarter than I gave him credit for. He's like, nah, Senku won't be about that. Gotta kill him. Wild. Fucking threw me for a loop.
Yeah, because, I mean, I feel like, I think you said that, though, because I knew for a fact, once he had that flashback, it's like, no, you have to shoot him. Senku would definitely not agree with my thing. You have to kill him.
Did you call him shooting him? Because I really didn't. I thought he was going to at least call him over, try. I thought it was going to be slower.
Honestly,
I thought it was going to be like, hold on a sec. I thought he was gonna be like, call him over, talk to him about it, realize that he's not for it, and then he's like, well, guess you gotta die then. But the fact that he went to immediate, I gotta kill him is wild.
So because I could have sworn you called it, because you said the exact same thing. You was just like,
yes,
he's gonna definitely tell him to shoot him because honestly,
no, I did not say that. I didn't. What I had said was what's gonna happen is he's going to say, Senku, join me and we can rule the world, and then Senku's gonna be like, no, I'm not all about that, and then he'd want him dead. That's what was my prediction was. You don't know more about what I said than what I said. I know what I said.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. I'm me, and that's called gaslighting, and it is a real thing.
So if your hype man proves it right, that I overhyped you, and you said it correctly, what do I get?
Big old blowy. Let me find it.
I'm pretty sure you called it. Stop being humble, you piece of shit.
Okay. I don't think so. I'm not. Where would it be in the video? Where do I gotta go?
He's blushing right there. He doesn't want me to overhype him. Look at him, viewers.
I'm really confused because literally my take on it was that he was gonna call. I was really excited about these future chapters because I was like, that's a really interesting dynamic because now the fighting is gonna stop and they're gonna like invite them over and talk to them. That's genuinely what I thought was gonna happen. So where would I go in the video? That's the problem.
In some ways, in many ways, you have a
it's a 23-minute video, so I don't know where I'm gonna find it.
you can find it afterwards,
Okay. Well, again, I'd love to be right, but I was genuinely shocked at that, so somehow I doubt that was my prediction.
It's interesting too because when you have that, he really had to think about it. That's how you know he legitimately cared for him a little bit.
So
I have to think about it. Then he was just like, no, because he's gonna hinder my plan. I know Senku. Senku's gonna be the one to type because we talked about this. Senku's the type who's just gonna revive everyone. He's not God. He doesn't think of himself as a God. He's not Rick, right?
He's not about changing things. He's about keeping the status quo alive.
Yeah. So Zeno knew Senku's gonna be the type to wanna fucking do this shit, so shoot him. And that's why he and you would think he'd be like, no, fuck it, just shoot him. But he actually thought about
it. Yeah, for sure. I'm just surprised that you're not more shocked at this. I was not at all expecting him to shoot Senku, give the order to shoot Senku. I literally thought, because I kept hearing on Twitter that Senku got injured. So I literally was like, oh, Stanley must have he must have told him too late and Stanley had already taken the shot, or maybe Stanley had a big disagreement with Zeno. I literally had zero. I really thought the flashback made me think, did you not get the vibe from the flashback that they were incredibly close?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I just really did not see that coming. I didn't think he would give him the order to shoot at all. I thought it was going to be an interesting slowdown in the arc where they would stop fighting temporarily and go and have a conversation, but I just didn't expect that shit at all. And that makes it luckily they didn't get rid of the interesting, because the interesting continues. Senku's alive, he's fine, but they don't know that. So this gives a cool moment for Chrome to fucking step in and shine, which is amazing because this whole series has been setting up for Chrome to be as good as Senku one day. And it's really because, Chrome got pretty far without any of the advantages that Senku had of living in a, post big technology boom era. So it's just crazy, right? Because now we're going to have a moment where I'm just curious because Zeno does fascinate me as a villain. And I want to see more of his thoughts on the fact that he's how does he feel about killing Senku, and when it's revealed he's alive again, he's gonna think that he had buried that and he didn't have to think about it again, but then he's gonna have to think about it again. It's just interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he thought I care because he thought about it, right? It was just like a fucking full on a Kainu, he's evil, shoot him type of thing.
For sure, yeah.
But he legitimately thought about it for a second. He had a whole little flashback about it. He was like, it didn't really feel like a oh shit, yeah, just kill him in cold blood. It was more sort of I have no choice. He's gonna get in my way type of thing.
Yeah, right? But I guess I just didn't. I see where you're coming from, and that does add to it. That adds to his character. But the disconnect here is that I didn't think that he was the type of character where like his plan was above everything. And here's how I just remembered something that literally proves that like your thing wrong. Like I literally did not call this, because I remember one of the things I said was I called Zeno a hypocrite. I literally called Zeno out. I was like, what a fucking hypocrite. He's all hardcore about his plan, but the second someone he knows comes in, the plan takes a back seat. So I had literally last video, I called him a hypocrite. I was like, these fucking villains are always hypocrite. They're okay with killing randos, but once it's one of their friends. So props to Zeno. He heard me and he was like, bitch, who's a hypocrite? Like, fuck, okay.
Props to Zeno.
Not a hypocrite. I'll give him that. Like, he's like, nah. Plan comes first. This man was asked a hypothetical question in like the lunchroom cafeteria at NASA. Like, yo, what would you do? And he's like, I'll take over the fucking world. And they're like, okay, Zeno. Cut to Zeno now killing like a fucking child that he mentored. Like, nah, I'm not fucking around.
That's actually really, really funny.
God damn.
What? Oh my god.
So yeah, that's that chapter. And then of course we get Luna. But in the next chapter, Luna is officially switching sides, obviously because of one, the thirst for Senku, but two, just in general. I think that like if you're looking at like leaders, right? Like if you got a choice of two leaders and you see one leader objectively a better person, right? Like who are you gonna want to follow, right? Like you look at Senku. Not only is he's a great leader, he's got pretty good morals. I mean, like I still think they're lacking at least a little bit. I'd like to see him take more, initiative, and instead of he's a little bit. Sometimes he can be reactionary, whereas like, he's not like acting toward. It's hard to say because he's acting towards change because the current like baseline is caveman world, but like he's in a weird way. It's almost like a conservative style change where he wants to go back to the way things were instead of like improving society as they rebuild it. I don't know. Maybe as they get towards the rebuilding stages, he'll have some ideas for improvements. I certainly hope so. That would be a little bit more interesting to me. But either way, Senku's a generally good guy, and he's a smart guy, and he's a great leader. Like, I will never take that away from him. He's a phenomenal leader. And I think that Luna noticed that.
Yeah. Just morally questionable.
Yeah, morally questionable in the sense that, like, I saw a sign while I was driving today. It was a Black Lives Matter sign, and it said silence equals violence. And essentially, like, calling out people that, like, are just kind of okay with the status quo. And that's something, like, as I get more and more into politics, I find it harder and harder to be, like, sympathetic towards people that are just, like, all about, like, I don't know, maintaining the status quo. Because the status quo, I don't know, it hurts a lot of people. So, like, it's tough. Like, it's interesting because Senku hasn't had a big challenge yet, ideologically speaking, because, Tsukasa's dream was a little bit too extreme. He took it way too far. Every person that's been like, hey, I'd rather change society than what you want to do, they go way too far, and then it's easy for Senku to be like, nope, you're wrong. But, like, imagine if there was a guy who, imagine, so Tsukasa, he was like, no, we shouldn't revive these people because they're awful, right? But then he went crazy, and he started, like, killing randos and shit. Like, okay, you're going crazy, right? But imagine if there was, like, a villain, and I hope this happens, like, in the future of the series, who's like, hey, as we're reviving humanity, maybe we should restructure the rules of society to help this, that, and the other thing. Maybe we should, we've talked about this before. I don't want to delve too into it because we have gone into it a lot. But like once you get into like the realm of reviving past criminals or like, horrible people, or just like the fact that he's going to have a huge opportunity when he starts restructuring society as kind of the founder of this society to really reshape a lot of the rules. Like, is he going to be the type of character that's just going to like revert it back to what it was before it was like whipped out of existence, or is he going to actually take some initiative and try to change things? That's all. That's just my main curiosity. I'll be very curious because we really haven't seen Senku be asked that question.
That's gonna be a huge character development. That's gonna be I think that's final arc level.
Yeah, and
that's
if the author may. Sorry, go ahead.
It reminds me that's Attack on Titan final arc level. I heard that's what it's doing right now. So
yeah, that's gonna be a huge moment and a huge like way to answer the question for me. Like, cause like right now I love Senku. He's my fucking boy. But that right there is gonna bring Senku from like just a great character to like one of the best of all time. If the author can do that.
I'll be curious.
Me too. So Luna is here now. She was a former med student that got in through connections with her parents, but she kind of sucked ass at it. But she has base level skill, so that's interesting. I'll be curious to see if she becomes like the doctor of their crew. Do they have like a medical person? Remind me.
I don't think so. No.
Well, maybe she can like get better. I'll be curious if she can like improve herself medically. Let's see here. We have a great moment here where they have the Morse code shit, and it's Chrome's time to shine here, and it's a beautiful moment where, like, this is the arc where Chrome's gonna kind of take over the helm. He is the head scientist now, Dr. fucking Chrome. It's a beautiful moment. I love that, and they're making a goddamn drill, not a mecha drill like his dreams, but just a drill, and that'll be interesting.
So their plan is to distract them. So they.
Shooting the fucking like petrification device over there, and my boy Gen immediately like, oh, is that the petrification? Love him. Telling you, bro, not this year, but next year, you Senku, me Gen, it's happening. Cosplay.
That is actually so funny. I like it too, because it was just like, because Gen is so fast. I love it here. This black guy over here is like, and this one of your tall tales, you turncoat. But Gen quickly, she's just like, oh, I didn't know that they were so close together.
That's some genius shit.
And
that's so genius.
Feels like he remembers that shit. They're close, right?
I love that. Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because like he would have seen pictures and like remembered that they sent the emails together, so it's 100% believable. Like, there's no bullshit there. So believable that Zeno would be like, yeah, I could totally see his men not knowing the difference. And from Zeno's perspective, he doesn't really know that Taiju's as dumb as a box of rocks. From Zeno's perspective, he could assume that Taiju is just as smart as Senku, or at least like comparable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because Zeno does know what Senku looks like, but he also knows what Taiju looks like. But
at least from a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, at least from a long time ago. But to them, he doesn't know that. They could switch names. Yep. One could be posing as the other. Like they could be like, relaying, like using fake names or something like that. Yeah. You never know, right? So
that shit's genius.
So that's interesting, bro.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Also, so gotta love this fucking like plug his ears, la 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 as they're talking. I imagine there's a lot of people that are very into this muscle whammon.
Oh, me included, bro. Snoo, fucking snoo, bro. For sure, definitely.
You would give up any hopes of being a top ever in that scenario. I hope you are aware. As long as you're okay with that.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, well, I don't either. I'm fully open to being a bottom in any scenario. I just thought that you were someone who was very, like, adamant about the switchness of what I mean?
I'm a switch for sure, but, like, because one thing that turns me on is, like, the competition.
Oh, you guys really want to know this, right? This is why you come here?
One of my sexual kinks is sexual competition. So,
yes, fighting over the top. There's no fighting if you're snoo-snooing this woman. You know that, right? Like, she's going to break you like a twig.
Bro, that's the part. That's the joy of it, though.
There's no fighting, though.
I don't give a shit. You don't know that, bro. That's the joy of it. That's the point. It's part of the kink, sexual competition. Okay. That's what I want
to make sure that you're not getting into something that you can't handle.
bro, how we're gonna do it? We're gonna bet whoever comes first has to buy dinner. That's what we're doing.
You are so losing that. Look at her.
I'm trying my hardest.
Get ready to buy dinner 365 days in a row.
Yeah, and when I lose, I'm buying her the best fucking dinner in the world, bro. That's how we're doing it. That's the type of man I am.
Oh my god, Thurman coming up with whole ass fucking fictional scenarios right now. That's like bro. Max level virgin.
Hey, it really be like that sometimes.
It really do. I get it. Now, what are they building though? That's what the fuck is this thing?
Some One Piece shit, bro.
Yeah, this is ancient weapon. Ancient weapon.
Bro, when I just thought of that shit, like they're literally doing some One Piece shit. Dr. Vegapunk right
building
here.
Pluton, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, is it a big old cannon? Like, if they want to be actual, it's too early for nukes. There's no way. Like, if it's a nuke, I'm a fucking freak. That'd be a little much.
It looks like it's made of rock or something. So
If it was a nuke, that would be like killing a fly with a cannon. We're gonna nuke their ship real quick, like Hiroshima this bitch. Like, let's go.
probably something different.
Most likely.
Even,
I don't
even,
know. I can only assume some sort of huge ass cannon.
even if it was a nuke, I'm gonna be real.
It's not
like,
a fucking nuke. It's like a targeted ass missile is probably what it is. Like not a
even if
nuke,
it
but like a
was-
legit missile that you like I think they're called surface to air missiles.
Yeah, I'm saying even if it was though, like I really doubt he'd use it. It must be like a Cold War thing. Like we have
Yeah.
nukes, you know. So I
It'd
mean,
be like, you guys have the petrification device, but I have a nuke.
we're gonna die because, like, I mean, technically speaking,
They could do some shit. You know, it'd be genius if you had a nuke. You could set up one of those scenarios where like someone has to like always walk in and like push this button once every day to make sure that the nuke doesn't launch. And if you turn us into stone, y'all don't know where that room is, or y'all don't know what the code is. So if once you petrify us, all of a sudden the nuke goes off. You know, you could do some shit like that.
Interesting. So, moving on here, Chrome, best boy Chrome.
He gets his own graph finally. He drew his graph.
That's wild. I was like, because when he had his like poof with the brain for the math stuff, I was like, oh shit, it's what's gonna happen. But he actually did really well. And so I love it at the end here. He's like,
oh,
he
the
makes
fucking
a whole
drill acronym.
anagram for a drill, diggerific, rotating, impelling, and eating loop knife.
Oh,
like,
drill.
A drill.
Do you realize the chances? What chance is that he came up with the same name for drill? It's wild. That's all I got.
Like Chrome is, bro. Like, holy shit, that's wild.
Yeah, the fact that Chrome came up with a drill with like, you know, a caveman upbringing essentially, or like not a little bit.
Yeah,
of a caveman,
so
like
I
farming.
know this is just a fictional manga or whatever, but this
Who
goes
cares?
to show.
I hate that argument. Hold on, are you ready to for me to dismantle that shit? One time I was hanging with a friend. And I was trying to hype him up for Killua and Hunter x Hunter, and I was like, Killua, bro, he's fucking wild. He's like 12 years old, and he could kick your ass immediately. He could kick like 100 grown men's asses. And he was like, yes, he's fiction, doesn't matter. I'm like, why are you watching? Fuck you, bye.
Yo, my man,
Welcome to the point. You've missed it.
So, but I'm just like, this kind of gives you hope for the human race, right? Like, even if
this manga is so good at doing that.
Like, even if we like were back to the Stone Age, it just brings happiness to know that there will be people who are smart enough to think of stuff like this.
Always, it's like there's a different people are born with different brain types, and some people are like infinitely curious, like so curious. They want to know everything. They want to know what the moon is. They want to know what the stars are. They want to know what's it like if I magnify this with a magnifying, like make this thing magnifying glass. What's that look like? Oh shit, there's cells. What is that all about? You know, wait a minute. If there's cells and everything, and I'm sick, what if I cough and look at that? Oh, that's a virus cell. There's always gonna be people like that, and it's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm happy about that shit too.
Yeah, because we too stupid. The best thing I can give to the world is funny manga reviews and maybe an AMV or two occasionally if I make one.
Woo, shit.
Final thoughts for you, friend. Predictions.
Shit. Now we're gonna see a without Senku building model. I'm curious to see what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Also, Volume 12 was gonna be out. It's already out.
Is Senku gonna have his moment where he's like, I need a moment where Chrome is like working on stuff and Senku like hobbles out of the fucking room and he's like, "Are you winning, son?"
Are you winning, son?
Senku would reference a meme.
That's actually really funny. So, I definitely give this chapter 9 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, very good, very good. I love it. We back on Dr. Stone, baby. No more fucking bullshit breaks. Peace.
Peace.